I understand like so deeply the root of this pain and this heaviness and this misery that we're feeling as women and as the collective and in society with everything that's being exposed right now. But the thing that you have to understand is that these systems, like the patriarchy, for example, it thrives in the internalized belief system that we are powerless against the system, against the circumstance, against the experience of the patriarchy. The system of the patriarchy, it doesn't exist outside of us. It is internalized within us as a collective. It survives because we believe that we are powerless. It survives because we feel disconnected from our bodies. It survives when we remain silent, when we don't speak up, when we feel like our voice doesn't matter. It survives when we feel like we have to ask permission to be or experience something different other than the system. So the question really here is not, how do I not feel misery when patriarchy exists? It's actually really, how have I internalized patriarchy myself? That will lead you to being able to deconstruct it individually so that you're not living the system of the patriarchy in your own identity. So here are some ways that you can actually deconstruct the patriarchy for yourself so you're not living within the system. First, you just really have to release the belief that you have to earn your worth. You are just inherently worthy, right? You don't have to be productive. You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to behave a certain way. You don't have to dress a certain way. You just are worthy and you will stand in that worth no matter what. Secondly, you really just need to stop performing what you feel like is womanly or feminine for other people's validation or other people's approval. However it is that you feel like your experience of womanhood feels authentic to you, it's how you do it. You don't put on certain clothes or wear certain makeup, dye your hair a certain color, or dress a certain way because it's what's approved. You do it based on what feels authentic and true to you. You don't really care about other people's reaction to it. This one is a really big one for women specifically, where we have to reclaim our desire and our sexuality and our sensuality without shame, without purity, without guilt. Our sexuality belongs to us and we own it. We do not have to apologize how we express it, how we feel in it, how we show up in it, how much we enjoy it, any of that. The key here is you have to release like any purity standards, any religious standards, any standards related around shame and guilt on how we want to be sexually, any standards surrounding decency. Just allow yourself to express your sensuality and your sexuality. How you feel is in your best and highest alignment. We have to practice being safe in our body, practice being safe in our sexuality, because we're trained by the patriarchy that our body is dangerous, that women in our power are dangerous, women who are sexual are dangerous, that we have to protect ourselves. We have to carry me. We can't dress a certain way because we're going to be threatened or attacked or stared at in a certain way. So we're taught at a very young age that we should feel danger in our own bodies, that our own bodies are unsafe. So just practice nervous system safety in being in our body, dressing the way we want, showing up authentically, and just letting other people deal with their reactions to it. You have to separate your body from your self-worth, because we're told inherently that we're only worthy if we look a certain way or if our bodies look a certain way. So we are taught that we have to shave, that we have to appear a certain way, we have to be youthful for a long period of time. And after we've passed youth, then we're no longer sexually attractive or worthy in society. But our body has nothing to do with our worth. So it doesn't matter what we look like, how old we are, the size of our body, the shape of our body, how hairy it is. None of that has to do with our worth. So you really have to separate from that idea. Just express yourself and show up in your body without having to be validated by other people, men and women alike. Really, the most important part is just redefining your own self-authority, your own power, without having to rely on external validation or caring about other people's judgment of you. Really just stop people pleasing. The most dangerous thing to the patriarchy is women who start to show up authentically, unapologetically, with their own self-authority and their own power. The more of us that do this, the more that the patriarchy gets threatened. And we're seeing that already happening in real time. It feels very loud. The patriarchy feels very loud to you right now because it is falling, because it is being deconstructed by women collectively on an individual level, and the matriarchy is becoming louder. Just you even asking this question is proof that deconstruction of the patriarchy is happening, because we can see it. We can see how it's controlled us. We can see how it's shaped society. We can see how it's damaging. The more that we question it, the more it starts to break down. So the goal here is not to remain in a powerless state, because that is what the patriarchy actually wants. It wants you to think that you're powerless against it. The more that you deconstruct it personally, to start showing up within your own self-authority, with your own freedom, with your own power, the more it's going to collapse. We reclaim power by dismantling it on the individual level. So the more that we do this individually, the more we're going to feel it collectively.